Hello and welcome back to Newton Gate Academy. I am back with another chapter. Today's topic of discussion is reflection. And no, we are not going to study reflection of light. We are going to study reflection on a coordinate plane. Instead of using mirrors, we will be using coordinate axes. So, let's see what are the topic of discussions for today. So first we'll see what is reflection. Next we'll see how many types of reflection there can be. And I will be giving you some important questions at the end, so watch till the end. And also I will be solving some important questions for you too, for your help. So watch till the end. So to define a reflection, we say that reflection of a point P in a line AB is a point P dash, such that AB is the perpendicular bisector of the line segment PP dash. So PP dash, the line segment's perpendicular bisector is AB. So what does it mean? Let's say this intersection point is O. So perpendicular bisector means that PO is equal to OP dash. Right. So AB is called the axis of reflection. Axis of reflection as in like that P point is reflected on AB and gives us an image P dash. Okay. So AB, what did I say at first? That we will not be using mirrors. We will be using coordinate axes. So this is Y, this is X. And these will be considered as axis of reflection. The coordinate axis will be considered as axis of reflection. And P and P dash will be the points or the coordinate points. So suppose we need to reflect a point on x-axis. Let's say what will happen. So if we want to reflect a point P on x-axis, so x dash is our axis of reflection. So we know that this distance will be equal to this distance, that is PM will be equal to MP dash. So what will be the coordinates of the point? The coordinates of the point P dash after reflection from P will be x, minus y. So when any line is reflected on x-axis, the coordinates of that point, what happens to the coordinates of that point? The x value remains the same, that is the abscissa value remains the same, but the ordinate value changes to its negative. Okay, let's see an example and we can understand. So let's say we have a point 3, 2. So suppose we have a point here 3, 2. So let's say this point is A and this is 3, 2. So what did I say? Abscissa will remain the same. So 3 will remain the same. A dash, if I take this point as A dash, so A dash will be 3 will remain the same and ordinate will become its negative. So minus 2. I hope I'm clear. So if A is 3, 2, the point after reflection becomes 3, minus 2. Similarly, if there is a point of B that is minus 5, 4. So let's say the point is here, that is minus 5, 4. And this is B. So this distance needs to remain the same. So the point B dash after reflection becomes abscissa remains same. So minus 5, minus 4. So this is how the point changes after reflection in x-axis. The abscissa remains same and the ordinate changes. Next, what happens if reflection is in y-axis? So if a point is reflected in y-axis, so y-axis becomes our axis of reflection. So P, we are reflecting P as the image is P dash. So what happens here? The x, that is the abscissa, becomes its negative and the value of y remains constant. So when we are reflecting a point on y-axis, the value of x, it becomes its negative and the value of y, it remains the same. And again, this distance Pn is equal to P dash n. Let's say an example. So let's say we have a point of A minus 1 comma 10. So let's say the point is here minus 1 comma 0. So minus 1 comma 0 is here. So A is minus 1 comma 0. On reflection in y-axis, it will become 1 comma 0. So this point A dash becomes 1 comma 0. See, the distance is same. From origin A dash is 1 and from origin A is also 1. The distance is same. So if we have another point P minus 8 minus 2, the abscissa will become its negative. So minus 8's negative is 8 and minus 2 will remain the same. Now we will see reflection in the origin. Now origin is a point. Before we saw that reflection on y-axis and x-axis, but y and x-axis, they both are lines, but origin is a point. We are trying to reflect a point on a point. So when we reflect a point on a point, the reflection point, the point where the reflection happens, that is in this case the origin is the midpoint. So that is why we can say that when this point P will be reflected on origin, that is the midpoint of P and P dash, the coordinates of P dash will be the negative of the coordinates of P. In this case, the coordinates of P were x and y, so it becomes minus x and minus y. So let's see an example. Let's say we have the points minus 2 comma minus 4. So if origin is the midpoint, then what do we know? That from the midpoint, we can say that if O is the midpoint, so the points of after reflection, the points will be, let's say x is equal to, 0 is equal to, because the midpoint is origin, so 0 is equal to minus 2 plus x by 2, so x becomes 2, and 0 is equal to minus 4 plus y by 2, so y becomes 4. So we get our point 2 comma 4. So any point after reflection in the origin will become its negative. That is, if point is 5 comma minus 7, then after reflection it will become minus 5 comma 7. I hope reflection in the origin is clear. Next we'll see reflection in a line parallel to x-axis. So if a point is reflected on a line, here the line is AB and the equation of this line is y is equal to a. That means in this line AB, the value of y is always equal to a. Okay, so what will happen if the point P is reflected in AB? That is, if P is reflected in a line parallel to x-axis. So the point after reflection will become x. The value of x will remain constant, and the value of y, what will it become? Minus y plus 2 into a. What is a? A is this. Y is equal to a. So the equation of the line AB, y is equal to a, we need to put this value of a in here and we will find the point after reflection. Let's see an example. So let's say we have a point minus 2 comma 10. So after reflection, minus 2 will remain minus 2, obviously minus 2, because the value of x will remain x. The value of y changes to minus y, minus 10 plus 2 into 3. Because the value of y at the line AB is always 3. So what do we get the ordinate as? Minus 4. So the abscissa remains the same. The ordinate value changes to minus 4. So I hope reflection in a line parallel to x-axis is clear. Next we'll see reflection in a line parallel to y-axis. Now for a line parallel to y-axis, the equation is x is equal to a. So now what happens when P is reflected on this line x is equal to a, the coordinates of P dash, what does it become? The x value changes to minus x plus 2a and y remains the same. So let's take an example. Now, when the point A minus 2 comma 10 is reflected on the line x is equal to minus 3. So, when this line x is equal to minus 3, the point A dash becomes, what does the value of x becomes? Minus of minus x plus 2 into A. So minus of minus 2 plus 2 into minus 3 gives you minus 4, and the value of y remains the same. So 10. So the point A minus 2 comma 10, after reflection it becomes minus 4 comma 10. Next is reflection in the lines y is equal to x and y is equal to minus x. So what will happen if the reflection of the point x comma y across the line y is equal to x? What will happen? The point will become y comma x. So x comma y becomes y comma x. Next, if the point x comma y is reflected in y is equal to minus x, the point becomes minus y and minus x. So the point reverses, that is x becomes minus y and y becomes minus x. See the example here. If the point P minus 3 comma 2 is reflected in, this line is y is equal to x and this line is y is equal to minus x. So when point P minus 3 comma 2 is reflected in y is equal to x, we get the point 2, that is the value of y becomes the value of x and the value of x becomes the value of y. So minus 3 comma 2 becomes 2 comma minus 3. And when this point, let's say this is P and this is P dash. So when P 3 comma 2 is reflected in y is equal to minus x, we get minus 2 comma minus 3. So 3 comma 2 reflected, we get minus 2 comma minus 3. Next, we have invariant point. What is an invariant point? A point is called an invariant point with respect to a given line. So a point can only be called an invariant point with respect to a given line if and only if the point lies on the line. So if the point lies on the line itself, then we call that point an invariant point. Obviously, that line is the axis of reflection. So in this example, we have A as a shape. So this point is 1 comma 1. This point is 3 comma 2 and this point is 2 comma 4. So when shape A is reflected in the line, x is equal to 1. So we know x is equal to 1 is this line. This is x is equal to 1, the line here. So what point will be invariant point? This point. The point 1 comma 1 will be invariant point. Why? Because with respect to the given line is x is equal to 1. So with respect to x is equal to 1, the point 1 comma 1 lies on the line of reflection. So invariant point remains unchanged after reflection. So if this shape is reflected, see, the point 1 comma 1 remains 1 comma 1, but the point 3 comma 2, it becomes the point 3 comma 2, it becomes minus 1 comma 2. So minus 1 comma 2, and this point here, what does this become? 0 comma 4. So this point here 1 comma 1 does not change its value after reflection. After reflection in the line x is equal to 1, the value of this point doesn't change. So this point is called the invariant point. With respect to the line x is equal to 1, this point is called invariant point. I hope the types of reflection and how many kinds of reflection there can be is clear, and also invariant point. So now we'll see some examples. Plot the following points. So we plotted P, B, C and D. Now they are saying to reflect the point BCD on y-axis. After reflecting, the point B becomes B dash minus 2, 3, C becomes minus 1, 1 and D becomes minus 2, 0. But P does not change. Why? Because we were asked to reflect on y-axis, but P after reflection on y-axis remains on y-axis. So P is invariant point. With respect to the line, x is equal to 0. This is important. With respect to a line, P is invariant point. So after reflection, we get the points. Now join the points P, B, C, D, D dash, C dash, B dash and P in order so as to form a closed figure. Write down the line of symmetry. So if P, B, C, D, D dash, C dash, B dash and P, this form a closed symmetry, the line of symmetry is x is equal to 0. Why? Because the points B, C, D were reflected on y-axis, that is x is equal to 0, and P is the invariant point with respect to x is equal to 0. So the line of symmetry is x is equal to 0. So let's see another example. This example says that A and B are reflected in the y-axis. So A is minus 2, 4, B is minus 4, minus 2 and they are reflected in the y-axis. So A becomes 2, 4, B becomes 4, 2. So next we found out the coordinates of A dash and B dash. So A dash is 2, 4 and B dash is 4, 2. Next, assign a special name to the quadrilateral A dash, B dash. So the quadrilateral is an isosceles trapezium. Isosceles trapezium because this distance, this is equal to this. So two sides are equal. That is why we say this quadrilateral is an isosceles trapezium. Next, state whether AB dash is equal to BA dash. So AB dash is equal to BA dash. This distance is equal to this distance. Why? Because again isosceles trapezium. Next example, it says that the point P 3, 4 is reflected in P dash. So the coordinates of P dash on reflection in x-axis becomes 3, minus 4. Now O dash is the image of O reflected on the line P dash. So when O is reflected on P dash, O dash becomes 6, 0. So we found out the coordinates of P dash and O dash. The length of the segments P dash and O dash. So P dash is equal to 8 and O dash is equal to 6. How did we find out? By distance formula, using distance formula. Now next we have the perimeter of the quadrilateral P dash O dash. So from this figure we can say that the diagonals P dash and O dash, they intersect at right angles. So we can say that this quadrilateral is a rhombus. So we know that rhombus has all sides equal and the diagonals intersect at right angles. So let's say the intersection point is Q. So we took the intersection point as Q. So OQ is 3 and PQ is 4. So OQ is 3 and PQ is 4. So OP is the side of the rhombus. So OP is 5 units. We found out the value of OP as 5 units using Pythagoras theorem. Next, OP into 4 gives us the perimeter of the rhombus P dash O dash, that is 20 units. 4 into 5 gives us 20 units. So these were the 3 examples. These examples are very important, and also as promised I will be giving you the important questions that are very important for both. These are the important questions. Please pause it, write down the questions. They are very important. And I hope you liked this video and I hope you understood reflection. If you did, give our video a like. Please do share it with your friends, and please do subscribe our channel. And if you have any doubt regarding the important questions, please feel free to call us and also do visit our website for any queries you have. Thank you.